We are live on oneworlddrums.com. I have the inventor of the hingestix, Sam Ruttenberg, with us. And also, we have a special guest all the way from California, Dr. Shaun Sanucci. And not only is she a medical professional, but she is also a avid drummer. Could I say drumming fanatic? What's the proper word for how you feel about drumming?
I would say drumming fanatic, drumming
Okay.
fan.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, tell us a little bit about your professional career. What do you do? Tell us about that.
Well, I'm a urgent care and wilderness medicine, emergency medicine doctor. I was trained in Arizona at Midwestern University and just always loved emergency medicine and urgent care, but had it not been for music and the drums, I don't know, that got me through medical school. So
Hmm.
it's a very important part of my life.
Hmm. Okay. So, it's one of the ways that you relieve stress, also recharge the batteries, things like that.
Absolutely,
Awesome.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. So, let's see here. Um, okay. So, any other? Tell us a little bit about your past training. Any of your, undergraduate or postgraduate experiences.
Sure. So I did paramedic EMT work before I went to medical school. So I've always been in this kind of emergency medicine field. But being in emergency or urgent care, you do see a lot of sports injuries, uh, people doing some dumb things with musculoskeletal
Hmm.
type things. So at my current job, I do see occupational injuries in addition to urgent care. And musicians are people that really need to take care of their bodies because they make their living that way, and specifically drummers,
Hmm.
because they're very prone to things like carpal tunnel, tendonitis,
Hmm.
that type of thing. And so I treat these people just kind of like elite athletes because, in a sense, that's what you are.
Right. Right. I mean, every band that has a drummer, that drummer is the person setting the beat and really setting the energy for that performance. So drummers
Right.
are some of the most important parts of any band. So
Yeah, they can be
definitely.
considered the leaders in a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So
the rhythm is whatever I say it is, right?
that's right. That's right.
That's
So
right.
how did you meet Sam Ruttenberg, and tell us a little bit about how you got your introduction.
So I'm a student of David Oromanner, who is just such an accomplished drummer and a jazz musician. And he introduced me to Sam, and I was having trouble with some of the grips. And he said, I think Sam could help you. He's got a product called hingestix. And that's actually where we met, and we've become good friends for about 6 or 7 years now,
Right.
meeting
It
up
was
at
at the NAM
NAM. And
show in California.
yeah, we
Awesome.
meet up every January at NAM, and
Yeah.
so that was my introduction to Sam, and we've just been friends forever.
Okay. Awesome. Um, and then tell us about your um, experience once you got the hinge sticks in your hand.
So what I like about the hinge sticks is that I actually have a pair right here. It's some of the old ones. That's how long I've had them.
Now we got to
Okay.
get you some of the updated ones
Yeah,
for
we'll get you
sure.
some
Yeah,
of the new
yeah.
ones.
So what I like about them is that they keep your hand in position so that you're not doing crazy things like I've seen a lot of drummers play like this
Can you
and
bring up your hand a little bit?
sure like
Yes.
that
Yeah, with thumbs up.
with thumbs up, or they're getting their wrist in oddball positions, but with the hinge sticks you get that really perfect position and you're not prone to tendonitis or carpal tunnel, and it keeps you from getting it not only in the wrist, but you can get tendonitis in the elbows, you can get it in the shoulders, it affects the neck, and it can cause just a whole variety of badness for you. And I find that the hinge sticks keep you relaxed, keep you loose, you're not gripping those sticks, because the more you grip those sticks, the more that vibration transmits up through the wrist, and that's actually what carpal tunnel is a vibrational component
Hmm.
going into that tendon and causing a carpal tunnel. And also tendonitis strain. So I find these are really useful because you just aren't going to be putting yourself in that position because you're loose.
Right. It promotes a loose grip because
Mm-hmm.
the sticks are floating.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You're right.
So if you meet someone that has an occupational injury because of playing the drums wrong for a long time, what's the
Go ahead.
what's the
I'm sorry.
treatment for that?
So that's a long, drawn-out process
Mhm.
because with tendonitis, you literally put like little razor cuts in the tendon,
Mhm.
and that's bad because the tendon connects muscle to bone. So you need that tendon to be healthy and not have scar tissue.
Mm.
So what you have to do is go through a long, drawn-out process of physical therapy, ice. Maybe you have to get into some steroids, MRIs. It's a long process. And if this is your livelihood, this can really cause you problems, just like a pitcher, having a rotator cuff
Sure.
injury.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there are a lot of people on the planet that do earn their paycheck by playing the drums.
Absolutely. And I see a lot
Absolutely.
of bad hand positions too.
Mm. Mm. So tell me also, in terms of musical play, how has hingestix helped you?
Well, personally, I've had a problem before with gripping the stick just too tightly and having it transmit actually up into my neck.
Mm.
And causing me to clamp down with the trapezius muscle and causing some occipital nerve irritation, which can cause vertigo.
Wow.
So, I mean, this thing is a big deal. So you want to be loose. You've got to be loose as a drummer
Absolutely.
so
And
you don't get hurt.
not only that, I mean, that's the main thing, but as a result of that, you become a smoother player. You can play with speed without fatigue. I've actually had a lot of players come to me that have been sore also, and that it's because they've been gripping the stick so tightly,
Mm.
and
Absolutely.
and it's the key is letting go, and the hinge sticks allow you to do that.
Dr.
They
Shaun,
do.
Dr. Shaun, were there any specific types of songs or certain sections of songs you couldn't play before you started using hinge sticks, and now you are able to, because of your improved technique, now kind of go to another level in terms of musical
Well,
play?
yes. So I'm a big fan of surf music,
Mm.
and as you know, some of their beats are super fast.
Fast.
And their fills back in the early 60s, they're just ripping through those fills. And I would tense up and grab those sticks so tight, and my forearm muscles were just like locked, and it would send this tenseness up into my neck. But with the hinge sticks, you're just very loose. You're loose, so you can play faster,
Mm.
and there isn't so much injury.
Wow.
So that's why I'm impressed.
Awesome. So,
Thanks, John.
yeah, I mean, as a musician, I know sometimes you see certain songs that are technically might be daunting, and then either you kind of put in the time and energy to get that practice and improve to get there, or you might just avoid the song totally, and that's definitely not where you want to be as a
Right.
musician.
You might quit and not get to the next level that you want to,
Yeah.
which can lead to frustration.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Because you kind of hit a wall and you can't go any faster, and because you're all tied up.
Yeah, definitely. And then, I mean, playing drums is also about joy. And so if playing drums is creating more stress or, having self-conscious feelings, then it's like, I'm not going to do that anymore. And that's not what we want for any drummer. We want drummers to continue to find joy, keep improving, whether they've been playing for 2 years or they've been playing for 20 years or 30 years, is to continuously have this quest of improving their skill and enjoying it every single time they get on a drum set. So
Absolutely. Because
awesome.
I just think playing the drums is just absolute pure joy, and you
Yeah.
want to keep doing it and not get hurt.
Yeah.
Shaun, what about the emotional element? I had a guy in his 50s come the other night, and he started as a youngster, self-taught, and then once every 10 years he'd pick the drums up, tried again, in his 20s and his 30s and his 40s, and made nothing of it. I mean, because he was self-taught. And he came to me. He's now in his 50s, and he said, "I want to do it right this time." And but he's all caught up in a lot of emotions. And I said, "Listen, you really need this right now. Not only taking lessons, but using the hinge sticks to relax yourself. But I think it makes you happier as a person, because the two parts of your brain that coordinate either side of your body are sort of connecting and relating to each other. Do you think? I mean, I think it brings happiness."
Absolutely, and anything that's going to raise your serotonin level, because it has to do with your emotions and your happiness, is beneficial. And the drums, I find, do that. And you mentioned using some other areas of your brain. There's been a lot of research about the brains of drummers are just wired differently.
Yes, I've seen articles about that.
And I think that for a lot of people, whether people recovering from strokes or trying to train the opposite side of the brain, I mean, you don't have to be Gene Krupa or anything, but even if you're just pounding out a rhythm, but it's so useful and helpful. And I find that people do get a lot of joy, and they don't have to be any great drummer, but if you could do it, you get joy and be relaxed, then yes, it does raise your level of serotonin and your happiness level. So yes.
Yeah, there's not a day that goes by, even for me, where a light bulb doesn't go off when I'm practicing, and it just produces joy.
Absolutely, and I think that's the key to life, is to live your passion and find joy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I mean, anybody who watches this video live or is watching the replay, playing the drums, learning to play the drums, and having a set of hinge sticks, it's going to prevent injury. It's going to increase your serotonin levels. You're going to be a happier, nicer person. It's probably going to improve your relationships with your friends. And
Right.
You're going to be cooler because you're going to be able to play these songs. I mean, there's so many benefits, and there's only positives. There's no cons to this.
As soon as you put them in your hands, it's like you understand what drumming can be like.
Sure.
If you just let go.
What I like is
because
you can feel
it reinforces good habits.
It does, and I like that you can feel the fulcrum. You know exactly where you're supposed to be, and that's another aspect that is really helpful, especially as a beginner.
Mm-hmm.
Because you need to know where that fulcrum and balance point is.
Right, and it forces your fingers to do some work on the back end of the stick.
Absolutely. If you want to, you need those back fingers to get working in it. I just think they're great, Sam.
Thanks, Shaun.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Well, I'm so thankful that Dr. Shaun came on with us on her day off to spend some time to talk with us about the hinge sticks. Okay, so what's your favorite song to play on the drums right now?
Oh my gosh. So right now, actually, I'm having a blast doing the Mariah Carey Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Okay. Some of those fills are just great. It's got kind of the swung sound to it, and it's a happy song, upbeat, and I'm really having a blast right now.
Awesome.
That's great. You know what song I'm working on?
What's that, Sam?
I just was listening to George Harrison's Cracker Box Palace.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jim. I think Jim Keltner is the drummer, and he does a great halftime beat in the beginning that's very disjointed, and I think it's the greatest. I'm going to make a video, playing it, and so for me, that and I'm nice and loose, and I can feel it, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Then he goes back into a pattern of 4. And it's great. So that's what I'm working on.
Awesome, Sam. Awesome. And yeah. I just want to thank you for putting those short little videos up of the rudiments you did with the hinge sticks. Oh. That was so spot on.
Oh, thanks, Shaun.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, drummers of the world, definitely check out the hinge sticks, the channel, oneworlddrums.com. We're going to continue to promote. We're going to continue to interview more and more drummers. And I'm so happy to have Dr. Shaun is our first guest we've ever had on our channel, and there's physiological benefits, there's psychological benefits, professional benefits. So again, and if you're interested in taking any drum lessons, you can also contact Sam Ruttenberg. He trains drummers all over the planet as well, and he trains my daughter. So that's how I know Sam as well.
That's right.
So yeah, awesome. Well, everybody have a great weekend. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, Sammy. Thank you,
Okay.
Shaun.
You bet.
Bye.
Bye-bye.